Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge.
All I got is bourbon.
Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. We are back at it with, yes, another new release coming from our good friends over out in the state of Washington, Woodinville Whiskey. Yes, Woodinville Whiskey. So obviously, Woodinville, first and foremost, always holds a special place in my heart, right? They were the first barrel pick that we ever did for the Bourbon Judge community was with Woodinville Whiskey. So always holds a special place in my heart. But hey, as we say in this courtroom, we're always fair with judgments, right? No matter what, we are always neutral. So we shall see based off of this new product. But when you think back about Woodinville, so again, they are a craft distillery based in the state of Washington, and they truly are like craft in essence, right? They are a grain to glass production. They age all their whiskey in the state of Washington, across the state, but still in the state of Washington. And I just give them mad props for, honestly, for being a craft distillery. And they've been around for like 11, 12 years now, maybe 13 years. So I'm really proud of them just for the whiskey that they produced thus far. And I'm also excited to try this new release. Cool? All right. So what else do we know about Woodinville? So when I think back about Woodinville, you know, they always had, obviously, of course, like some cast strength products. But they were mostly typically like single barrels for like private groups such as myself and others. A lot of times, though, the majority of the products were like small batch bourbon, small batch rye, some finished products as well. And in the last few years, because they've been around for a while now, they're really starting to put out like some age-stated, fantastic products. So as an example, this is their 8-year bourbon that was proofed down, by the way, to 100 proof. Their 9-year bourbon, also proofed down to 100 proof. And then this one here is the 8-year rye as well, 100 proof. But Woodinville is growing. So coming out later this year, they're going to be putting out their 10-year bourbon. So this is the 8, this is the 9. They're coming out with their 10-year later this year. But what are we reviewing today? I'm excited to announce that Woodinville is dropping a brand new release, a 7-year bourbon, a 7-year rye, single barrel at cast strength. And it will be a shelf product. Yes. So Woodinville, again, is putting out adding to the shelf, right? Adding to like their core collection, which will be on all the shelves in the states where you can find their whiskey. Again, 7-year bourbon and a 7-year rye. It's going to be on shelves. They're always going to be a single barrel, as this one says here. It's always a single barrel. So it's going to be a single barrel product. So the proof is going to vary based off of the bottle that you buy versus the one that I get. But what I love about it is also price point. So we'll see about the quality of the whiskey, but the price point is fantastic. So 7-year bourbon, 7-year rye, at cast strength, MSRP $70. So they're obviously sticking to the whole $10 per year rule, which is cool, and I think that's actually very fair, honestly, in many ways, very fair. So 7 years old bourbon, 7-year-old rye, $70 at cast strength, single barrel. So mine, and thanks by the way, Woodinville, for sending over the sample bottle. This one is my single barrel is coming in at 116 proof. So 116 proof. By the way, I love the bottle design. So they're obviously paying tribute to the state of Washington and like, you know, how mountainous the state is and so forth. So you see, and like just like the rough terrain of the mountain, I should say as well, more important. You can see like the bottle design. That is a beautiful bottle design. It really is. Also could be used as a weapon. This thing is no joke. That is some thick glass. Not that I'm encouraging violence, just to be crystal clear, just all jokes aside, but it is a thick bottle. It really is. All right, let's get into this 7-year bourbon, MSRP $70, coming out in the next few weeks. All right, what do we get here? So what I've always loved with Woodinville, I've always felt that their products have a very soft influence of honey. It's not overly honey, but like a soft influence of honey. So this one has a soft influence of honey combined with a fantastic amount of like caramel, brown sugar, a good influence of like pepper, like a spice kind of a note, which is great because it offsets that sweetness, at least in the nose, from with the sweetness that had the honey, and the caramel in it as well. Yeah, so good influence of pepper, but a lot more honey, A lot more caramel, brown sugar, and dare I might say, a little bit, just a smidge of like some baking spices in the background, right? Just a little bit of baking spices as well. Very nice. All right. Hey, for a new product coming out, 70 bucks, single barrel, cask strength. Mine's 116 proof. Let's dive into it. Real quick, 3 quick easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know what are your thoughts on just Woodinville in general and whether or not if you plan on picking up the bourbon and or the rye. Last but not least, please make sure you all subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get a notification each and every time I release new content. Cool? Cheers to Woodinville. Here we go. Woo! Oh, that's sweet. That's peppery too. Wow. So this 7-year bourbon, single barrel, coming in at 116 proof, that's very sweet and very peppery. An equal balance. It actually has a lot more pepper than I thought it would. I mean, I had the pepper in the nose. It was a little spicy in the nose. But that sweetness and that pepper, they come together very well. And they live very much like in the same lane together. That's a wonderful blend. Let me get a little bit more. Wow. Their whiskey is really starting to age. And just like really, I mean, they truly are. They're growing up as a distillery. They are truly growing up. Still a craft distillery, but their whiskey is just like evolving big time. Wow, that is a ton of honey. It's crazy how much honey and like a caramel meets like a pepper note. All right, one last sip. Cheers. So, wow. That's sweet. That's crazy, actually. I'm not joking. Sipping this blind, like if I pour this for someone, you might think it's a honey finish. That's really actually, honestly, in many ways, very interesting and different because it's obviously not a honey finished whiskey. But I'm telling you, to me, that it tastes and sips like it's a honey finished whiskey, but it's not. It's just obviously all the combination of their mash bill, their yeast strain, types of barrels where they're aging in, and all the other lovely whiskey science that comes to fruition in our whiskey world. But that's so unique. That is definitely a lot more sweet with a good bit of pepper drizzle in. That's actually really nice. Wow, I gotta share this with some friends. That's really good. All right, and by the way, at 116 proof, nice bold lung finish, and it stays here. It's very constant all the way from the beginning, mid palate, all the way to the end of the palate. It just stays. It holds its own. That is a fantastic pour. Wow. One last sip. That's good. That is actually excellent. It's truly excellent. All right. I'm going to give you my verdict. The verdict is in. I'm going to give you a verdict, but I'm going to add on a note. The verdict is in. To me, and again, this is a single barrel, so every barrel is going to be slightly different, right? But to me, hands down, this is a buy. At 70 bucks for a 7-year-old single barrel bourbon coming from Woodinville, their own distillate, that is phenomenal. The reason why I'm adding on a, I'll call it a comment, is because this is definitely slightly sweet. It's, in my opinion, you might honestly almost think that it's honey finished, but it is not, to be crystal clear. It's not, but it's truly fantastic. So as long as you are okay with a slightly sweeter profile bourbon whiskey, then you will love this. This is truly fantastic. I honestly think this is probably even better than the 8 or 9-year-old in many ways. This is truly amazing, and I mean amazing. Hey, shout out to Woodinville. That, my friends, is fantastic. Peace. See you guys.